Alright, YouTube, I'm back. I was supposed to be going to work, but yeah, got pushed back, so I guess I'll make another video. In my last video, I was saying about my mom. I mentioned my mom. I realized it's not a subject I touched on yet about coming out to your parents or whatever. So let's do it. Can y'all see me? No, you can't. Okay. So basically, I think this was good right here. All right. So basically, it was hard with my mom. It still is. It's like push and pull. Let's see. I told my mom before I told anybody because like I said, me and my mom are extremely close. My mom is like my wife. I treat her like my wife. I take care of her. I love her with all my heart. She means everything to me. It was hard for me to tell my mom because I didn't really come out to her about being a lesbian. She just kind of seen a hickey on my neck one day and asked me who gave it to me, and I just told her. So it was like one of those ripping the bandage off type things. Let's see. I told my mom, and I have two younger brothers and an older brother. So I told my mom, and I told her, like, I was thinking about it. And she was the one who suggested, like, I go see a psychiatrist and talk and get more information. And after I came from out of there, you know, I basically was feeling way more comfortable about my decision. So I called my mom and I told her that it was something I wanted to do. And she didn't take it good at all. She was on it. She was like on one of those things where it was like, well, I don't approve it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to see it type situations. But I know my mom loves me, and I know my mom always wants me around. So I was just like, she's like, I'll still be there for you as a mother, but I just don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. And that broke my heart because, you know, my mom is like my happy place, like my safe haven. And when she told me that, I was just like, what the hell am I going to do? Like, I look forward to seeing my mom. I look forward to seeing my brothers and spending time with them. And, you know, I just kept pushing and pushing, trying to tell her, Mama, I'm not changing as a person. It's just the outer. And she just felt like, you're making these changes, but that makes me feel like this whole time you haven't known who you are. You're being this fake person. And I told her it's hard. You have to understand, you know, to wake up every morning and see something other than what you believe to be there. You know, it's hard. And, you know, when you're at that point, when you see that, before you start testosterone, before you start looking into it, you're literally having a identity crisis because you believe you're a man. You act like one, you dress like one, you feel like one. But then when you look in the mirror, you're not one. So your brain is thinking all these things. It literally would drive me crazy, you know. But, I mean, my mom said all that, but nothing changed. I still talk to her on the phone every couple of days, you know. Our relationship hasn't changed. I still love my mom to death, and she still loves me to death. More recently, she volunteered to help me with, you know, picking out a name. That's a long story with that. I picked out my name already without her help. Me and my girlfriend did it together. And just a couple of days ago, she offered. And I didn't want to say to her, well, Ma, you know I already picked out a name, because it's been a long trip for her. It's a long way for her to come to say that. And, like, to me, it would mean more for me to have a name that my mom picked than just one that I picked for my own reasons, because if my mom would pick a name, to me that would mean that's who she wants me to be, you know? Like, this is like validating. You know, when you have your child, you can give them a name. I mean, I don't know why most people pick names, but, like, I know when I have a child, I want them to have a name that means something, that stands for something. And in my family, all the boys have biblical names. David, well, biblical names, but we're Catholic. So David, Stephen, James. I chose Elijah because I really love the story of Elijah. He's the only man in the Bible that didn't die. Actually had a physical death. God sent for him to come, literally. So I felt like that's what I'm doing, you know. Elijah knew he was stable, and he had nations of people following him. And I believe that I'm a big influence. You know, I have an older brother, but my older brother still looks up to me. I have little brothers. My little brothers look up to me, especially the youngest one. And when I believe in something, I believe in it 110%. And for me, I was going through a real long time where I didn't believe in myself because I didn't know who I was. And yeah, you know, I went to school, I graduated, you know, and I have a great job, you know, great friends, beautiful girlfriend, great mom, you know, great stepdad, but I didn't feel happy with who I was. You know, with all those things, it didn't really matter because I didn't feel happy with who I was. And I tried to explain that to my mom. And I think it took her a while, but she's kind of starting to, like, grasp the idea of it all. You know, I told her, like, to go on YouTube and educate herself, and I believe she did. She hasn't really asked me any questions pertaining to my transition, but I'm hoping that with time she will. And, yeah, it's hard to come out to your parents, especially when you're close and you know that they're... My mom is like one of those people, it's hard for her to accept something that she doesn't understand, but she will try. And I think that's what she's trying to do now. So I respect that. And I'm not going to sit here and tell my mom, oh, I picked out my name already, so accept it. No, I want to know what name she wants me to have. And I'm praying to God it's Elijah, but I don't know. If it's not, then I'll tell her what name I want to have. And I hope she likes that name too. And as far as, like, coming out to my girlfriend's parents, I'm not going to do that. That's not necessary. Why do I need to? Once again, people have a hard time accepting things that they don't understand. If they don't understand it, then their first response is to reject it. And it's not necessary. So for all those people, like, I definitely do understand. Like, it's hard. It's really hard. Me and my dad aren't that close. He knows about my transition, obviously, because he's seeing the changes in me. You know, I'm 24 years old. I'm not going to just all of a sudden grow a mustache, or chest hair. But me and him aren't close at all. And his opinion is one of those that I don't really value, and it goes a lot into that. So that's why I didn't care enough to tell him. But people like my friends and my best friend, I think at first it was okay, but now he's still having a hard time. He still, you know, uses acronyms like, pronouns like she and her, and calls me by my birth name. But with time, I'll work on him. But my brother is the same thing. Me and my brother have a real different relationship. Me and my brother are close. My older brother, I'm talking about. We're real close. But he's having a hard time with that too. My brother is also my barber. Even though I could cut my own hair, but I go to him. So, he finds ways to shave off the mustache if he can, or accidentally shave it off, whatever he calls it. But family is hard because, for people who are extremely close with their family, telling them that you're going to transition, and that you're no longer going to be a female, you're going to be a man, that can create a gap. It can cause people to distance themselves from you, because a lot of things with people is, when it's other people, when it's happening to other people, it's okay, why don't you understand it? But when it's something going on within their own family and happening to them, it's a lot harder to accept. So, patience is a virtue in these situations. Don't get your hopes up and think that your mom is going to just, or your dad is going to just be so accepting. I know with my mom, I'm the only girl, so for her, it was just like, oh my God. But even though I never dressed like a girl or act like a girl, she doesn't treat me like one, it's still hard to see that change and accept it. You just gotta take the good with the bad and leave the doors open. Don't just close the door. Let them do that. Let it be their decision, because those are your parents, and if you really love them, then, you'll be patient. I told my mom, I'm going to leave the door open for us to bond and communicate and have the same relationship, and I hope that, you will too, and that eventually we can come eye to eye to some type of compromise or something. And she just basically told me that that's fine. And since I've done that, I haven't seen a difference in our relationship. It's the same. I don't live with my mom, of course. She hasn't seen all my physical changes, but, she can hear my voice when I talk to her. But, yeah, guys, just hold your heads, be patient with your family, but don't let that keep you from transitioning or make you feel bad, because you're doing this for you, and I hate to be cheesy and say this, but you only live once, and you gotta live it to its full extent. You gotta be happy, and if they love you, they'll want to see you happy. Believe me, that's what your parents want for you. They want you to be happy. They may have plans for you to do something else, or be a doctor, and you're not a doctor, you're an artist, or whatever, but they want you to be happy. So just tell them you're my mom, you're my dad, and if you really love me, and if my happiness means anything to you, then you understand this is something that I have to do, and that don't not do it because they don't want you to, because unless you're underage and you live with them, but because that will only prove to them that this is not something that you're serious about. You can't let someone else's decision affect yours, because it's not going to work. The moment you say, I'm not going to transition because my mom doesn't want me to, that means it's not important to you. You never really wanted to transition in the first place, because your mom didn't want you to transition and you wanted to. So now that she doesn't want you to transition, you're still not going to do it? No, you're doing it for you, not for your mom. Your mom is comfortable in her skin. She's lived in her skin her whole life. Now it's time for you to find your own skin and live in it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hope that my advice is helpful to you guys, and this is going to be my last update for the day. So I'll probably update sometime this weekend or something like that if I have time. Appreciate all you guys. Rate, subscribe, comment, do all that good shit. Alright? Hold your heads.